All right, here are the five-star preps kickoff event with Austin East head coach Jeff Phillips. And Coach, talk about the guys you brought with you to this cool event today.
I brought Isaiah Ligon, Chris Stevenson, and Trey Foster. Chris Stevenson is a senior, Trey Foster is a junior, and Isaiah is the other junior. Just really good, talented guys, and look forward to having some big things from them this year, especially just on and off the field, leadership and things like that.
You guys won some games in the playoffs, but not what your ultimate goal was. What was your takeaway coming off of last year?
Well, what we saw is that, obviously, anytime you're going against Alcoa, who's obviously the standard in any division for the, 15-time state champions, what we see from that was that we just got to really work on a lot of our discipline, body management. They just wear you down, and, so many guys on their team, and you just got to find a way to compete. You can't make a lot of mistakes, and we had some opportunities, and our discipline kind of showed with lack of mental capacity when we got tired.
What's been the motivation level you've seen from your guys to take that next step and get better so far in the offseason?
I think just understanding, what happened in those games that we lost last year. We lost to Fulton and then lost twice to Alcoa, and understanding that those games are about, the little things. So whether now it's coming into the weight room and trying to make sure you get all your reps in, all your sets in, finishing everything, standing behind the line. So it's just little things like just discipline. And we believe that if with fundamentals and really good discipline that we can compete a little bit better and try to close that gap. If not, put us over that hump to try to get past Alcoa this year.
You put out on social media some steps in the phases of getting the turf at Austin East. Talk about that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was great. I was there every day that they was working on the turf, but it was just it's something that I've always envisioned us ever having. I never thought we could have it, and then obviously with the Field of Dreams coming through, it really works out great, and I love it. Being able to see it every day, talking to those guys working on it. They love our field. We love our field, and now we're finally able to get out there and get on it. It was just like when we first seen it, it was like 3 years. Like, man, it's gonna be a long time, and now it's actually here. So we're excited about it.
How does a field turf help you coach better?
Well, for us, one, it allows us to have a place to practice. And what people don't realize a lot of times is if you don't have a field that has lines and numbers and hashes, it's kind of hard to talk about spacing. So when you're practicing on like a baseball field, like how we were, sometimes you get into a game and it's like you're just hoping that you've mocked it up enough. But we don't have to worry about rain either. Also, if it rain or storms, last year we would be like, man, we know this team's practicing because it's raining, but we got to be a little bit more cautious because we got a mud puddle on our practice field. So this is going to be good for us to be able to practice.
You've never been afraid to tweak or change things, whether it's schemes on the fly during a season or anything else. What tweaks or changes may we see in your team this year?
Well, I would say the one of the changes you'll probably see is I've never ran a 2-quarterback system, and this year I may actually run one for the first time. And then another change will be just moving guys around. We've done some things different. We're going to be a lot more aggressive on certain areas. But I think when you see our first game and some of the things that we'll do, you'll see that there was a change. There's going to be a drastic change in a couple of areas for us this year because we feel that we got to do that. We didn't win a state championship last year. We didn't beat Alcoa last year. So we'll be crazy or go insane if we think we can do the same thing and expect a different result.
Hey, how's scheduling for you in your district in 3A? Is it difficult? Is it okay? What's that like for you as a head coach?
Well, scheduling for us in 3A, obviously with the region, we get our natural region opponents. But being in Knoxville, obviously, one of the hardest things is we're the smallest school in Knoxville that's a public school. And, that's kind of tough when you try to think about scheduling for next year coming up in 2019-20. That's going to be kind of tough because we always have to look at, what teams do we have to go against. We have Alcoa every year. We have GP coming up, Kingston coming up, Northview, and all those teams are getting better. We just got to make sure, and we always play Fulton. So you get Alcoa and Fulton on your schedule, obviously the most state champions in Knoxville, you just be like, you don't want to beat your kids up too bad, but you got to play good quality teams to make sure that your guys are ready. And so it'll be different. This year was tough. We lost Brainerd, but we picked up Waynesville out of Ohio. One of the top teams in the nation, playing a big classic. That's going to be a two-day event up there, and so that's something good for us. But we feel like that team's really good, and that's going to hopefully only prepare us to get ready for Fulton, get ready for Alcorn, get ready for the rest of our schedule in the playoffs.
The McKenzie family has obviously meant a lot to the Austin East program with a history, and Khalil now is in the NFL with the Kansas City Chiefs. We've seen him at your games before. What kind of pride is that to see that family continue to represent so well and do so well in the NFL? Well,
it's great for them to be doing a great job in the NFL. And, you know, obviously the McKenzies, Reggie and Riley both went there. You know, we have Joey Cleanscale, who's also in the NFL. And it's great to see those guys doing things. And, you know, I would say it would be really lovely to see those guys come back to Austin East and just talk to our kids. We haven't had them at our school. They've been to our games. We just haven't had them come to our school and actually talk to them. And I know their schedule is really, really hectic, and I know that's tough, but it's great because it's something that we can always tell our kids and show our kids that, hey, you know, guys have made. I think Austin East has the most NFL players in the city of Knoxville. I think in the 80s they were sending all types of guys. Leroy Thompson, even he comes to our games. But, you know, we still got to get those guys to come in and support and talk to our kids. I think that would be really good. It's just something that we haven't, on my end, haven't been able to really put together. And that's something I'm working on this year, is trying to find a way that I can get those guys to come in. But it's amazing to have those players.
How much have you done 7-on-7 with your guys this offseason?
Yesterday was our first day. We went to Gallimore-Pittman yesterday, and we struggled. I'm just going to say it, quite frankly. No sugarcoating, we struggled. But it's the second day back from dead period. And I told our kids that if we look like this next Thursday when we go to Catholic, then we got some problems. And we're going to have to try to figure some things out really fast because it's not going to be pretty. But we have another date going up to Maryville College on Saturday, I think. And then obviously we want to try to fine-tune some things. But, you know, we're still just constantly working on just trying to get better, because right now we're not where we need to be. We're not anywhere close to where we need to be for our first game.
You still have some talent definitely on the roster. Are some guys getting some looks from the college level, offers, things like that?
Right now we got Chris Stevenson. Chris Stevenson's getting the looks, but realistically we're not getting as many looks as we need to be. And quite frankly, that's not the college's fault as much as it's our kids' fault a lot bit, because right now we don't have the ACT score. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we've really been working on, really trying. We have good grades. Like Chris Stevenson, he has a 3.3 GPA, but he has a 17 on the ACT. And a lot of schools are shying away because it's like, well, are you going to make it? And we got other players that just haven't made the ACT score. So right now the ACT score is really kicking our butts right now.
Is there anything about the earlier signing period in college that you think has changed things for kids? Are they thinking about college too early? What's that like from a coach's standpoint?
And I think for me personally, I think the early signing period is good, because really you want a kid to go ahead. If I'm a coach, I really want like a kid to go ahead and commit. I think 2 years ago we had Darius, and a year ago we had Chris Hunter. And I advised them, I said, if you think you're going to commit to a school, go ahead and do it before the season starts, because you don't want to run into all those headaches and stressors. You kind of want to be able to relax. So it's good if you know where you're going to go and you're able to go ahead and go there and do it. As far as other pressures, I think the pressure is going on the colleges now with that early signing, because they're starting to have to get the kids earlier. Mm-hmm. And they worried about trying to miss out, so they have to offer earlier. But that also means kids have to go to camps earlier. And sometimes you may miss kids during June because of camp. But it's still all about the kids marketing themselves. I always tell them, you're a brand. What makes you different than anybody else? Y'all go buy Jordans, you go buy Nikes or LeBrons or whatever it is. You buy those because you like them. That's how you got to use and market yourself. What makes you different than the next player in the city or the next player in the state or in the country?
Last thing, what are some areas I know there's things you want to work on and get better at, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
What can potentially, if guys live up to their ability, what can be the team's strengths of Austin East this year?
If we can live up to our abilities, the strength of our team will be our defense. Our defense is coming back. They return the most starters. Our back end is athletic. They're fast. They're physical. You know, like yesterday, they were really flying around making plays. If we live up to our potential, our defense could be one of the best in 3A. And that's what we need, because defense is going to win championships, and we're going to need a lot of help from our defense if our offense is going to have any success this year.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing you on the KFC Game of the Week once again this year. Coach, great to talk football with you as always. Thanks for the time.
All right, thank you.
All right, that is Austin East head coach Jeff Phillips.